Hello students, I'm Sai Baba here. So in the previous class, I have recorded the solutions. I have shown you given the solutions of the first 11 questions in the assignment in thermodynamics. So in this class, I am going to discuss the solutions starting from question number 12 onwards. So look at the question number 12 on the screen. Two cylinders A and B fitted with pistons contain equal amount of ideal diatomic gas at 300 Kelvin. The piston of A is free to move, while that of B is held fixed. The same amount of heat is given to the gas in each cylinder. The same amount of gas is given. The same amount of heat is given to the gas in each cylinder. If the rise in temperature of gas in A is 30 Kelvin, and the rise in temperature of gas in B is. So in the gas in cylinder A, piston is free to move. For the gas in cylinder B, the piston is held fixed. That means for gas in the cylinder A, we can assume pressure to be constant. Pressure of the gas can be taken as equal to the external pressure of the piston, assuming it is maybe equal to the atmospheric pressure. For gas in cylinder B, volume is constant because piston of the cylinder B is held fixed, so volume is constant. So for gas in cylinder A, the heat energy absorbed is given by nu Cp delta T for the gas in A. It is given that same amount of heat is given to the gas in each cylinder. So for gas in cylinder B, delta Q can be that the gas in cylinder B has constant volume. For gas cylinder A, pressure is constant, not volume. So heat energy absorbed by the gas cylinder A can write nu Cp delta T. So heat energy gas absorbed by the gas in second cylinder B, whose piston is held fixed, nu Cv delta T for B. So delta Q is same for the gas in each cylinder. Therefore, left hand side is same in both the equations. Can equate the right hand sides of the two equations. So therefore, nu Cp delta T, it is given the same amount of diatomic gas is filled in both the cylinders. So quantity of gas or number of moles can be assumed to be constant. So Cp by Cv into delta T for gas in cylinder A will be called delta T for gas in cylinder B. Cp by Cv gives you gamma. So gamma into delta T for gas in cylinder A can witness delta T for gas in cylinder B. It is given that both the cylinders are filled with same, that is ideal diatomic gas. So gamma for diatomic gas, as I told you in the past, can be taken as equal to 7 by 5. So delta T for the gas in cylinder A is 30 Kelvin. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, please take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 12, which I just discussed now, fourth option is answer. So look at the next question here, question number 13. This question was given in the past 2005 MSET engineering entrance in Andhra Pradesh. The rate of specific of gas is here denoted by small letter r. That means gamma is denoted by small r here. The change in energy of 1 mole of the gas with the volume is changed from V to 2V at constant pressure P. So for a fixed mass of an ideal gas in any process, change in energy is given by the same formula, nu CV delta T. CV the molar specific to the gas at constant volume. So CV can be written as molar specific at constant volume can be written as R by gamma minus 1. So molar specific of the gas at constant volume can be written as R by gamma minus 1. Change in the temperature, you can write final temperature of the gas minus initial temperature. This you can write nu R T2 minus nu R T1 by gamma minus 1. This result I have given you in the past, which you are supposed to remember. Molar specific of the gas at constant volume in terms of molar gas constant and ratio specific heats of the gas given by CV equal R by gamma minus 1. Applying the perfect gas equation in the initial conditions, you can write in general case P1 V1 equal to nu R T1, P2 V2 equal to nu R T2. Therefore, in general, change in the internal fixed mass of an ideal gas can be written as P2 V2 minus P1 V1 by gamma minus 1. So in this problem, the pressure is constant. P2 equal to P. Final volume V2 is 2V. Any pressure P1 is also P because pressure is constant. Final pressure is same as the initial pressure, which is equal to P. V1 means initial volume is V by gamma minus 1. So you get the answer as delta U equal to PV by gamma minus 1. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 13, fourth option is the answer. Look at the question number 14. Gas is compressed at a constant pressure of 50 Newton per meter square from volume 10 cubic meter to a volume of 4 cubic meter. 100 joules of heat is added to the gas, then its internal energy. So that means you have to find out whether the internal change in internal energy of the gas, and also you have to find out whether the internal energy increases or decreases. So you have to find the change in internal energy of the gas here. So it's given that heat energy absorbed by the gas is 100 joules at constant pressure. Pressure of the gas is constant and it is given to be equal to 50 Newton per meter square. The initial volume of the gas, VI or V1, is 10 cubic meters. The final volume of the gas denoted by V subscript F or V2 is 4 cubic meter. We have to find change in the internal energy of the gas. For that, we will first calculate the work done. So the pressure of the gas is constant, and the work done by the gas when its volume changes at constant pressure is given by P delta V. Delta V is equal to final volume of the gas minus initial volume of the gas. The pressure is given to be 50 Newton per meter square. The final volume is 4 cubic meter and initial volume is 10 cubic meter. So you get work done by the gas is minus 300 joules. So we got the negative sign. it is obvious because volume of the gas is decreased here. So positive work is done on the gas by the compressing agent, but work done by the gas or by the system will be negative, and the gas is compressed. So from first law of thermodynamics, we can write delta Q equal to delta U plus W. Here delta Q is given to be 100 joules. The work done by the gas is minus 300 joules. So change in the internal energy, delta U equal to 400 joules. So here delta U is positive. That means internal the gas increases by 400 joules. So for the question number 14, which I have just discussed, first option will be the answer. Then look at the question number 15. Which type of ideal gas will have the largest value of Cp minus Cv? Cp and Cv denote the molar specific heats. They discussed already earlier in the theory part. So for any ideal gas with any atomicity, molar specific at constant pressure minus molar specific heat at constant volume is equal to molar gas constant. Kepler represents the molar gas constant. This relation, as I told you, called Mayer's relation. The value of the molar gas constant is same for all the gases. Therefore, difference in the molar specific heat at constant pressure and molar specific at constant volume will be the same for all gases, which will be equal to universal gas constant. So fourth option will be the answer for question number 15. So look at the question number 16 here. This problem or probably this problem or same model problem was given EAMCET medical entrance in the past. This problem was given in the medical EAMCET in the past, before 2000 EAMCET medical. So see the problem here. If for hydrogen Cp minus Cv equals small m, and for nitrogen Cp minus Cv equals small n. Cp and Cv refer to specific heat per unit mass. As I told you, difference in the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant pressure and ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume is equal to ordinary gas constant, or you can write small r. That is specific heat per unit mass, we call ordinary specific heat. Small r can be called specific gas constant. You can write Kepler by Kaplan. So difference in the specific heat per unit mass at constant pressure and specific heat per unit volume at constant volume. I mean difference in the specific heat of the gas per unit mass at constant pressure and specific heat of the gas per unit mass at constant volume, or difference in the ordinary specific heats of the gas at constant pressure and constant volume will be equal to the ordinary gas constant or specific gas constant, which you can write molar gas constant divided by molecular weight. So in the case of first gas, that is hydrogen gas, the difference is denoted by small m. That means small r equal to small m, that is equal to Kepler by molecular weight. For hydrogen is 2 grams per mole. For next gas, that is for nitrogen gas, the value of specific gas constant or ordinary gas constant is denoted by small n, which you can write molar gas constant divided by molecular weight of nitrogen. The molecular weight of nitrogen is 28 gram per mole. So you can divide the equation 1 with equation 2. So you get small m equal to 14 times small m. So if you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy this working. So you have to start 4, please correct it. You get small m is equal to 14 times small n. So for question number 16, which I have just discussed, the fourth option will be the answer. See the question number 17. The specific heats of an ideal gas at constant pressure and constant volume are 525 joule per kg per degree centigrade and 315 joule per kg per degree centigrade respectively. Density at NTPs. So here also you have to follow similar procedure to some extent. You can observe the specific heat is expressed per unit mass. That means you are given the values of specific heat per unit mass at constant pressure as 525 joule per kg per degree centigrade, and specific heat per unit mass at constant volume is 315 joule per kg per degree. That means you are given the ordinary specific heats of the gas at constant pressure and constant volume. They are asked to find density at NTP for that. So from Mayer's relation, difference in the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant pressure and ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume will be equal to the ordinary gas constant, or you can say specific gas constant. And the specific gas constant, as I told you earlier, can be done molar gas constant divided by molar mass of the gas. So therefore you get smaller 525 minus 315 joule per kg per degree centigrade is equal to small r. Of course, change in temperature on centigrade scale numerically is same as change in temperature on Kelvin scale. So the value of small r can be written as 210 joule per kg per Kelvin. So one of the board exams recently, for example, 2014 intermediate public exam in Andhra Pradesh for junior inter students, they have asked the SI unit for specific gas constant and dimensional formula for specific gas constant in very short answer question. So the SI unit will joule per kg per Kelvin. Now from perfect gas equation, you can write PV equal to mu into capital RT. Nu is the number of moles of the gas, which you can write mass of the gas by molar mass. So write mass of the gas by small m, molar mass by capital M. Or you can write mass of the gas by capital M, molar mass by m naught. So you can write P equal to mass by volume, means the mass V is the volume of the gas, P is the pressure of the gas, M naught is the molecular weight. That is the number of moles I have written, M by M naught. Here M is the actual mass of the gas, M naught is the molar mass or molecular weight of the gas. So here also you should write small r equal to capital R by M naught. So mass of the gas by volume of the gas gives you the density of the gas. I have denoted by small d here. So small d into small r into capital D. So periodic gas equation in terms of density of the gas, then specific gas constant can be written as P equal to small d into small r into capital D. So density of the gas is P by RT. You are asked to find density of the gas at NTP. So at NTP, can take pressure of the gas equal to 1 atmosphere. That is 1.013 in 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Approximately, you can take it as 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square for approximate calculation. Specific gas constant we calculated is equal to 110 joule per kg per Kelvin. So at NTP, the temperature capital T can be taken as 273 Kelvin. So we can take temperature of the gas, capital T equal to 273 Kelvin. So if you want to copy down the working, please take a pause and copy the working. So you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for the question number 17, which I just discussed, the fourth option will be the answer. See the next question here, question number 18. This problem was also given in the EAMCET exam. So as per my memory, it was given in 2006 EAMCET in the engineering paper or medical paper, one of the papers, 2005 or 6 it is given, that much I remember. Originally this problem was given in the general problems in physics by Uridu, and I observed this problem for the first time. So look at the problem here. Certain amount of ideal gas are contained in a closed vessel. The vessel is moving with a constant velocity v. The molecular mass of gas is capital M. The rise in temperature of the gas when the vessel is suddenly stopped will be. So here volume of the gas in the vessel can be assumed to be constant. Therefore, when the vessel is stopped, then the kinetic energy lost by the vessel can be assumed to be converted into heat and given to the vessel. So therefore, we can write delta Q at constant volume for the gas in the vessel, mu CV delta T. Mu is the number of moles of the gas that can be written as mass of the gas. And let us denote mass of the gas by small a, because molar mass is denoted by capital. And CV is the molar specific at constant volume, which you can write R by gamma minus 1, as I told you earlier. Kinetic energy lost by the vessel, which gets converted into heat and given to the gas, can be assumed to be given to the gas, is half mv square. Where m is the mass of the gas in the vessel, we assume that mass of the vessel is negligible compared to the mass of the air. or small m is will get cancelled both the sides here. Therefore, delta T can be written as mv square by mv square into gamma minus 1 by 2 into r. That's the answer for the question. So if you want to copy the working, take a pause and copy this working. So for question number 18, second option is answer. See the question number 19. Ideal monatomic gas is taken through a process dq equal to du. The molar heat capacity for the process is where dq is the heat supply and du is the change in energy. So in general, change in internal energy of a fixed mass of an ideal gas in any process, and the temperature changes by infinitesimally small amount dt is given by du equal to uCV dt. And heat energy absorbed by the gas in any process, you can write mu C dt. Let's see the molar specific heat of the gas for the specific process. CV the molar specific gas is constant value. So it's given that dq equal to 2 du. Therefore, you can write mu C dt is equal to 2 mu CV dt. Number of moles of the gas gets cancelled, both that dt also gets cancelled. So you get molar specific gas in the process equal to 2 times the molar specific heat at constant volume. And you know that molar specific heat at constant volume is given by CV equal to R by gamma minus 1. And for monoatomic gas, the value of gamma is 5 by 3. So you can substitute gamma equal to 5 by 3 in denominator on the right hand side. So you get molar specific heat of the gas for this process as 3R. So if you want to copy the working, take a pause and copy the working. So for question number 19, the second option will be the answer. Then see the next question number 20. Same model problem was given in the MCET exam. I think in 2004 MCET. So, and you can observe same model problem also given in the book Concepts of Physics by H.C. Verma and some of the other standard books. So look at the question number 20 now. The molar heat capacity in a process of diatomic gas, if it does a work of Q by 4, when heat Q is supplied to it. That means the heat energy supplied to the gas, in this case simply denoted by Q. And work done by the gas, delta W is denoted by, is given to be Q by 4. And for a diatomic gas, gamma can be taken as 7 by 5. They are asked to find the molar heat capacity for the process. So in general, heat energy absorbed by the gas in any process can be written in the form mu C delta T. Nu is the number of moles of the gas, delta T the change in the temperature of the gas. C the molar specific heat of the gas in that process. So you can write molar specific heat of the gas in any process as delta Q by nu into delta T. So you have to find nu into the given quantity. So you can apply the first law of thermodynamics. So from first law of thermodynamics, you can write delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. So change in the energy of the gas in the given process, we can write delta Q minus delta W. Delta Q can be replaced by Q and delta W by Q by 4. And change in the energy of the gas in the given process will be 3Q by 4. Now change in energy of the gas. Change in energy of fixed mass of an ideal gas in any process is given by nu CV delta T, where CV is the molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume. So for a dynamic gas, gamma is molar specific heat at constant volume can be written as molar gas constant by gamma minus 1. So to substitute the value of nu delta T here to get the answer. And R by gamma minus 1. Gamma is 7 by 5 here. So if you simplify this, molar specific heat at constant volume can be written as 5R by 2 for the dynamic gas. So delta U you can substitute equal to 3Q by 4 on the left side. Delta U equal to 3Q by 4. U into CV equal to 5R by 2. Therefore, nu delta T can be written as 3Q by 4 multiplied by 2 by 5R. Or you can write nu into delta T is equal to 3Q by 10R. You can substitute this value of nu into delta T in this equation on the right side. So delta Q can be written as equal to Q here. And nu delta T is 3Q by 10R. So molar specific heat of the gas for the given process can be 10R by 3. So answer for this question is 10R by 3. So if you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy this working. So for question number 20, third option will be the answer. See the question number 21. 0.5 mole of a dynamic gas at 27 degrees centigrade is heated at constant pressure so that its volume is tripled. If Kepler equal 8.3 joule per mole per Kelvin, the work done is, as discussed in the past, the work done by the gas at constant pressure and work done by fixed mass of an ideal gas when its volume changes at constant pressure can be written as P delta V. I have discussed in the theory part in the class where when I discussed about isobaric process, when pressure is constant, P delta V can also be written as nu R delta T because you are given the molar gas constant R is given here, number of moles is given. So you have to, nu is given, R is given. So to find work done, you have to find delta T. Delta T is equal to the change in temperature gas, which you can write final temperature minus initial temperature. You are given the initial temperature of the gas as 27 degrees centigrade. So on Kelvin scale, it will be 273 plus 27 or 300 Kelvin. And so you are given the number of moles of the gas. So volume is is tripled. That is, final volume is V2 50 knots, by 3 times the initial volume. And pressure is constant. So at constant pressure, we can apply Charles' law to find the final temperature of the gas. So you can write V1 by T1 equal to V2 by T2, or T2 equal to V2 by V1 into T1. T2 equal to volume is tripled, so V2 is 3 times V1. So final temperature gas on Kelvin scale will be 3 times the initial temperature on Kelvin scale. Initial temperature is 300 Kelvin. So change in temperature gas because final temperature T2 minus initial temperature. The final temperature 900 Kelvin, initial temperature is 300 Kelvin. So change in the temperature of the gas, you get 600 Kelvin. So using this other formula, W equal nu R into delta T, you can write work done by the gas. Nu can be written as 0.5 mole, number of moles. Capital R is given to be 8.3 joule per mole per Kelvin. Delta T is the change in temperature of gas, that is equal to 600 Kelvin. So we can simplify this. Further, those who want to copy the working, take a pause and complete the working. So those who want to copy the calculation, take a pause and copy the calculation. So for question number 21, you get second option as answer. See the question number 22. 1 mole of monatomic gas is mixed with 3 moles of a diatomic gas. Molar specific heat of the mixture at constant volume is. So number of moles of the first gas we denoted by nu1, that is 1 mole. Number of moles of second gas denoted by nu2, that is 3 moles. So molar specific heat at constant volume, in terms of molar gas constant, you can write R by gamma minus 1. So molar gas constant for the first gas denoted by CV1, that is for monatomic gas. Gamma for monatomic gas 5 by 3. So molar specific heat at constant volume for the monatomic gas is 3R by 2. Molar specific heat at constant volume for second gas, that is for diatomic gas denoted by CV2, that is R by gamma minus 1. For diatomic gas, gamma is 7 by 5. So molar specific heat at constant volume for the second gas, that is for diatomic gas, you get 5R by 2. As I told you, when two ideal gases, I mean which are non-reacting gases, are at the same temperature, if they are mixed together, then total internal energy of the system remains constant. So internal energy of the mixture of the two gases, sum of the internal energies of the two gases. Internal energy of the first gas, you can write mu1 CV1 T at a given temperature. Internal energy of second gas nu2 CV2 into T. Internal energy of the mixture of gas is the number of moles of the mixture, that is nu1 plus nu2 CV for the mixture into T. So molar specific heat at constant volume for the mixture of the two gases, you can write nu1 CV1 plus nu2 CV2 by nu1 plus nu. This discussion I have done in the past. Here nu1 is 1 mole, CV1 is 3R by 2, nu2 is 3 moles, CV2 is 5R by 2. U1 plus U2 is 1 plus 3. So this you have to simplify here. So you get 9R by 4. Now substitute the value of R and simplify it yourself. Those who want to copy the solution of the problem, please take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 22, which I have just discussed, the first option will be the answer. See the question number 23. 2 moles of a certain ideal gas at a temperature 300 Kelvin were cooled isochorically, so that the gas pressure is reduced 2 times. The gas is expanded isobarically afterward until its temperature got back to the original value. Total amount of heat absorbed by the gas in this process. So in the first case, the gas is heated at isochorically, means at constant volume. So initial temperature in the first case, I denote it by T. That is 300 Kelvin. The pressure of the gas becomes half. So P2 is the pressure of the final pressure, that is half of the initial pressure P1. Can find the final temperature. So when volume is in isochoric process, when volume of the gas is constant, then pressure is directly proportional temperature. So P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. So final temperature of the gas is equal to P2 by P1 into T1. P2 is half of P1. So when the pressure becomes half at constant volume, temperature also becomes half. That is half of T1. Now this T2 becomes the initial temperature. So heat energy absorbed by the gas in the first case. At constant volume denoted by delta QV. That is nu CV delta T. C is the molar specific heat at constant volume. Delta T is change in temperature. Change in temperature T2 minus T1. That is nu CV. T2 is T1 by 2. Or you can just write this way. Call it as 1. In second case, the gas undergoes isobaric process. That means pressure is constant in isobaric process. Heat energy absorbed by the gas in the second case. The constant pressure is given by nu Cp. In second case, the initial temperature is T2. The final temperature at the end of first case, isochoric process, can be considered the initial temperature in the second case for isobaric process. The gas is again cooled back to the original temperature. So final temperature at the end of second process, that is isobaric process, same as initial temperature which the gas had originally. at the beginning of the first process, that is at the beginning of isochoric process. So final temperature T1. Heat energy absorbed by the gas at constant pressure when by nu Cp delta T, that is change in temperature Tf minus Ti. Nu Cp should take constant period. So nu Cp into Tf is now T1, Ti is T2. What are the equation? To find net heat absorbed, we have to add the equations 1 and 2. So net quantity of heat absorbed by the gas, or total quantity of heat is equal to heat absorbed in the first case plus heat absorbed by the gas in second at constant pressure. So net heat, amount of heat absorbed by the gas is equal to sum of the heat absorbed by the gas in the first case at constant volume, which we have written here, equal from first equation nu Cv T2 minus T1 plus heat absorbed by the gas second case nu Cp T1 minus. So net heat absorbed, you can write delta Q is equal to nu Cv into T2 minus T1 plus nu Cp into T1 minus T2. Can take T1 minus T2 common outside. T1 minus T2 into nu also can take. So multiplied by Cp minus Cv. That means here you can write T2 minus T1 as negative of T1 minus T2. So you can take nu into T1 minus T2 common in the two terms. So when you take nu into T1 minus T2 common here, you will get Cp multiplied by Cp minus Cv. So Cp minus Cv for any gas will be equal to the molar gas constant. Cp minus Cv for any gas can be taken as equal to molar gas constant. So those who want to copy the working, please take a pause and copy the working. Of course, I have not completed the calculation part. If you finish, take a pause and copy the working up to here. Then you can copy the calculation continuation, the next slide. So I'm continuing the calculation part of the question number 23. So net quantity of heat absorbed by the gas. So we got here nu into Cp minus Cv into T1 minus T2. So here Cp minus Cv can write molar gas constant. And final temperature T2 is half of at the end of first process isochoric. T2 is the final temperature at the end of isochoric process. That is half of the initial temperature T1. So nu R T1 by 2. Nu is the number of moles of the gas, which is given to be 2 moles. R is the molar gas constant, that is given to be 25 by 3. Joule per mole per Kelvin. Q1 is the initial temperature of the gas, which is equal to 300 Kelvin. So you can try to simplify this. So those who want to copy the working, please take a pause and finish writing the working. So for the question number 23, which I have just discussed, second option will be the answer. So I have complete discussion of the questions of 23. The next 7 questions I will be discussing in my next class. So after discussing the next 7 questions, I will be showing another second part of the assignment in thermodynamics.